Hello guys, welcome back to Haymanager. Today, the team of the season, my team of the season for the Premier League, and who I think deserves to be in these spots. So, transfer you over quickly to the screen where we're using the Sky Sports team of the season layout. Now, I've chosen my formation already, but there's quite a few formations here that you can go through and pick through and whatever. But I think the perfect balance for me in a team nowadays is a 4-3-3 because a lot of teams play type of a secondary striker or wingers or three in the midfield, so like your two DMs and your centre attacking midfielder. So to balance it out, I've gone for three in the midfield, three up front. I think it makes sense as well. So to jump straight into it, we've got the 5 players at the back that we can choose from. This is going to be an interesting one. So at the moment, you can choose Emi Martinez, Nick Pope, Edouard Mendy, Kasper Schmeichel or Ederson. And for me, there's only one standout player in this, but to give credit to a few others here, Edouard Mendy came in, I think it was quite late into the season after, I think Lampard wanted a different goalkeeper to Azpilicueta after he made Arrizabalaga after he made quite a few mistakes. So Edouard Mendy came in, he played 31 games, he's got 16 clean sheets, which is decent to be honest. Emi Martinez he had a fabulous start to the Premier League season. Nick Pope as well, fantastic year. Kasper Schmeichel, you've got to give him credit where credit's due. He had a fantastic year, but then injuries at the back to Evans, to Yunchu, James Justin also. His back four weren't a steady back four, so the cooperation, everything just going through, just didn't work for Kasper Schmeichel. So for me, it's got to be Ederson. Ederson in there. Ederson for me is a fantastic player. I've quickly made a few stats boards which should be on the screen for you now. So Ederson for me, I've got it on my phone here. 36 matches played, 19 clean sheets, 28 goals conceded, a lot of saves and a decent save percentage as well, which is really fantastic to see. You love a great goalkeeper that can make saves, keep the clean sheets going, just goals conceded as well, only 28 in 36 games. It's probably testament to his back four as well. You've got to give it to a lot of the good players in his defence, but Ederson goes in there for me. Now then, I've gone for a back four in positions. And also, I think this would be the back four anyway. So I've gone for a right back at right back, left back at left back, and then 2 centre backs. I've not gone for like 4 centre backs across the back or loads of wing backs because I think it makes it a bit weird. So at right back for me, it's João Cancelo. João Cancelo, now it's between João Cancelo and Wan-Bissaka for me. There was those two. Wan-Bissaka were incredibly consistent, but for me, he lacks a positional awareness. He's got much better at it, but he just lacks positional awareness, which isn't fantastic for your right back. But João Cancelo this season, absolutely phenomenal season. A lot of tackles for him. I couldn't believe how many tackles he'd had as he plays a bit further forward. He's not really an out-and-out right back, should you say. I think he plays more of a wing back role, but 77 tackles, a lot of crosses, and obviously SCA, which is shot creating action. So the things that creates shots, he's also succeeding in as well, 2.78, which is a massive amount. We then move on to the 2 centre-backs. So for me, in the 2 centre-back roles, I'll first of all talk about Ruben Diaz, but then second of all, it's got to be Harry Maguire for me. So Ruben Diaz, what a season this man's had. He's had an absolute phenomenal season. He came in from, I believe it was Benfica. He came from Benfica for around about 40-50 million. And he got off to a slow start. I did scrutinise him for his heading ability towards the start of the season, but since a few games in, the centre-back partnership with Stones, everything started to make a bit more sense. They got a defensive midfielder back into the game. Rodri came in, secured that back 6 then really, and they were on a flyer. The guy's had an absolute beauty of a season. Let me just get his stats up for you right now. So him, 32 matches played, 31 tackles, 45 blocks. His aerial ability, 68.2, which I thought was a bit bad, but if you compare it to a lot of the league, he's pretty up there. Ruben Diaz is a very physical player, and what I enjoy about him, he reminds me of the old school Vidic, like an old school defender who likes to get in the way of stuff, blocks it no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's in his face or anything, he'll block anything. And then for Harry Maguire's had a very good season. Unfortunately, he got injured towards the end. He played every single Premier League match for us so far this season, apart from the last 4, because he picked up a bit of an injury and a bit of rotation here, there and everywhere, so he didn't manage to play every single game. But 34 games, 30 tackles, 45 blocks, 77.5% aerial battles won, which is massive for a player. Well, you'd expect that from Harry Maguire, and then pass completion rate 89%, so He's a very good player. Then Luke Shaw, who for me has potential to be player of the season alongside Ruben Diaz. This guy has had a back to his best. He's back to his best. I've always rated Luke Shaw. My friends will always tell you that. I've backed him for years. I love his overlaps, the way he gets forward. He's more physical now than ever. Everyone called he had a very bad time with Mourinho actually, where everyone called him fat and everything. But now with Solskjaer, people have started to respect Luke Shaw. His drive, his mentality is probably the biggest factor of his game. He's such a great player. 5 assists for him this season. 92 crosses, which shows how much he gets forward. For João Cancelo, I think it was around about 71 for him, or 69 for him. I think it was 69 for him, wasn't it? 92 crosses for Luke Shaw, a lot of crosses going forward. And shot creating actions per game, so that actually crosses your passes, your through balls, your final balls, 3.76. That is a lot for a wing back. Now then, we'll move into the midfield. So this right hand side, we're going to keep the Man City thing going. We're going with Kevin De Bruyne. Now, Kevin De Bruyne is a weird one. You're probably going to have a go at me here for this, but 25 games played, so for a season, missing 13 games is pretty big. I think he missed it through injury and rotation and whatnot. But 6 goals, 12 assists still. He missed out on 13 games and got 12 assists. I think if he'd have played those other 13 games, definitely would have got the Teammate of the Year award or whatever. I can't remember what it's called, but would have definitely topped the assist tally chart. 76% pass completion rating. Not fantastic getting back. Only 16 interceptions, 376 pressures where you press players on the ball, for example. Yeah, he doesn't really suit a defensive game, but getting forward, those crosses, lethal. Absolutely lethal. The pre-assists, everything about this man, fantastic. He showed it on the final day as well. A bit of flair. I think he got an assist and a goal. Absolutely phenomenal player. Now, this man, player of the year for me. Player of the year. He rivals Luke Shaw. He rivals Ruben Diaz. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has had one of the greatest seasons a midfielder has had in the league, and that's saying something considering that we've had Lampards and people like that. Bruno Fernandes, absolute phenom. Absolute phenom. So, 37 matches played for him, which is a lot. I mean, he comes off the bench for quite a few of them, but 37 out of 38 considering Manchester United's schedule is mental. And 18 goals, 12 assists, 74.6% pass completion ratio, which could be a bit better. 22 interceptions, which isn't brilliant, but the pressures, it shows how much this guy really wants to win. 718 pressures, which is probably the most out of the shortlist I made for these midfielders. He was unreal at getting back. The amount of effort this man had put in, the recovery time, he'd be fit for every game. I know he might go down a bit easy, but Bruno Fernandes, when effort is being called upon, this guy has put in so much effort throughout the years. He definitely deserves a spot in this side. Then, the last midfielder spot, this was the controversial one. I could have gone for Phil Foden, but I didn't feel like he contributed that much in the Premier League. I think it was more Champions League where he showed his finesse. In the Premier League, he got off to a slow start. He got a few important goals, one against Liverpool, I remember. Things like that. And Riyad Mahrez up there as well. Gundogan, another fantastic player. But for me, Gundogan, he had played 28 games. He came in very late. It was much like Jesse Lingard, where I can't put Gundogan in for the same reason I can't put Lingard in, where he missed out the majority of the start of the year. Gundogan came in around about January, I want to say. Started scoring goals. I think he got 13 goals in the end, which is very good for a central midfielder. But he just suited Gundogan. He played in that striker role. But for me, my midfielder, my last midfielder, is Mason Mount. Now, people might sulk about this, because people will. But Mason Mount, for me, has been an absolute, I'd say engine, or maestro. I call him maestro, actually. Engine/maestro. The engine is really Kante, but the maestro is Mason Mount. 36 games played, 6 goals, 5 assists, which you think, not too great. 82.3% pass completion, which is really good to be honest. 36 interceptions, 687 pressures. This guy is all over the pitch. All over the pitch. You can't ask for much more from a player. You look at the likes of Foden, who's his counterpart, you're going to look at probably playing Mason Mount or Foden in that midfield spot. I'd pick Mason Mount any day. At this moment in time, Foden's fantastic going down that left-hand side. I think if you put him at the left wing, it's Foden all day. If you put him at the right wing, Foden all day. Put him at cam, it's a difficult choice. I'd probably still just go for Foden, but in that central midfield role, Mason Mount is by far one of the highest work rate players I've probably seen. He's so dedicated, he wants to win, does anything for the team. Fantastic player for me. Absolutely brilliant. He's going straight in my side no matter what. I really admire Mason Mount. Then on this right hand side, we're going to go for Mo Salah. Straight into it. Mo Salah on that right hand side. That right wing spot is Mo Salah's. Liverpool got off to a very slow start. They had Van Dijk injured very early. Mo Salah then tried to step up, but you can't carry a whole team. And for him, I think teamwork-wise, working with a team, I don't think it really suits him. He's more of an individual. So Mo Salah, 37 games played, which is massive again. 22 goals, just missing out on the Golden Boot. 5 assists. Shot creating actions, 3.42 per 90. Expected goals, 20.9, so he's just above that. And then pass completion, 84%. He's a complete player in that forward role. I really admire Mo Salah, despite the fact he's obviously Liverpoolian and I'm a Manchester United fan. I really admire Mo Salah. Really great player. Fantastic player for Liverpool, been brilliant for years. And this year, just fell off the pace a little bit, but really came forward and came into fruition towards the end of the season, where Liverpool needed games the most, and he came through and scored pretty vital goals for them, to be honest. Then, Kane up front. I think it was 2 obvious players here. Harry Kane, Golden Boot winner. Got the most assists in the league. This guy is magical. He's absolutely magical. He wants to leave in the summer. That's another story. But 35 starts for a player that's injury prone. 35 starts is massive. Absolutely massive. Mourinho at the start of the season wanted to try and get him firing and become an absolute machine, and he did so. 14 assists, majority of those to Heung-min Son. And then 3.3 shot creating actions, expected goals 20.5, so again, above and beyond that. And then 70.1% pass completion ratio. I've put that in there because it really shows how efficient these strikers are in the modern game. You look at a lot of players like, for example, I've looked at Shearer Sutton. Sutton's setting up Shearer so much, the passing ability of him. Bergkamp, for example, you got Berbatov's. I can't really think off the top of my head of other fantastic passing strikers, but Harry Kane's well up there. He's dropped a bit deeper, got a bit more involved, a lot of touches in the box, that's the main one. And Harry Kane, for me, deserves to be in this side. Now then, the last spot, you could go for Ollie Watkins with his 15 goals so far this year. Jack Grealish, 10 assists, missed the majority of the season though. Calvert-Lewin off to a flying start, but doesn't really do it for me. Jamie Vardy, 15 goals, 4 assists, not too bad. Again, Son, 17 goals, 10 assists, really good for him. But for me, it's Patrick Bamford. I've got to throw him in the mix here. Leeds coming up, first season. Bamford didn't get an opportunity at Chelsea. He came through with Middlesbrough, didn't really have a fantastic start. In this Leeds lineup, Bamford has been the pivotal player in that striker role. The way he brings the ball down, passes it off, the work rate getting forward. He's such a modern, normal guy as well. He's so with it. He's on form. His interviews after games are fantastic. It's more of I won't say an emotional picking there, because 17 goals, I think it's 7 or 8 assists as well. For me, let me just get the stats up for you so we can get it spot on. 17 goals, 7 assists in 38 games. He played all 38, whether it's off the bench, starting. He's played all 38. Shot creating actions 1.8, which isn't fantastic. Expected goal 17.3, so he probably could have scored more, which is the big factor in this actually. He's got a space to improve, but he's still supplying and providing those goals for Leeds, which nearly got them into those like European Conference League spots as well. So they finished very high up, 9th place I think it was for Leeds in the end. Really good for them, or somewhere I think it might have been 9th or 10th. Really good for Leeds in their first season. Good passing as well, 76.3%. Shows how great passing he is. Lets the 2 wide players go forward. Bielsa's got to be awarded as well for how great Patrick Bamford has been this season. So that is my team of the season. I'm submitting my side. I'll share it onto Twitter for you now. And that's my side. I think it's an absolute sensational year. A lot of players in there that you've got to really consider for being good choices. So you've got your Kantés, obviously your midfielders, you've got Foden and Gundogan in there as well, Lingard, to name a few. Rashford probably misses out. Harshly he misses out, but he's had a fantastic season himself as well. Who else are you looking at? For defenders, I really like Cresswell. Cresswell I think stepped up. Kufal. Konsa for Aston Villa, fantastic player. But that is my team of the season for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave down in the comments below who you think should have been in my team of the season. Let me know who down below you think should be player of the year as well. I might do a video on the awards as well. If you indeed like the video, please leave a like down below, smash that button, subscribe as well, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Ciao.